base and thought that they hit a triple, right? And so the idea is you didn't put in the work to get to third base. You were born on third base, and you're acting as if something that you did, something that you earned, got you to third base. And what Dr. Jordan rails against is that there's some people that are just born under lucky circumstances. They end up on third base. Now, you shouldn't shit on people that have good circumstances. That's an optimal thing. You would hope for people to be born with good circumstances. But to be humbled, to recognize that, like, okay, I'm fortunate to be on third base. Now what am I going to do with it? Rather than, being born on third base and then telling people how you hit this triple, if that makes sense. A lot of baseball reference there. But I would say, so third base is like, you're almost home. You're in a pretty advantageous position. But then there's people that are born on second base that, like I think they also have some privileges that they were born with, and they think that they've hit a double, and so it's like a lesser degree of that. So, for example, like Thugga is born on third base, thought he hit a triple. I think Aram would be born on second base, thought he hit a double.
Yeah, I mean, you describe yourself being more a first baser. You're more of, like, and I mean this in the most flattering way, based on your own description and what I know of you, you're more of a first baser who hit a home run, whereas I'm kind of a third baser who got picked off. Absolutely. Now,
no. Oh. I'm the guy that drew the walk.
Okay. But, Barry Switzer is one of the people who popularized that expression. He came from very humble means, and so he was in an interview somewhere, granted he was a football coach, but, he had a pretty rough life. I think he lost both his parents at a very young age, came from very modest means, but he's the one. He may have been talking about George W. Bush, but a lot of people use George W. Bush as an example of someone who, Kamala Harris, and Roger, I think you'll agree with this, she could be a second to third baser because one of her parents was a professor. That puts you forget about finance. That puts you in a different space because you have connections, you have know-how. She definitely was more advantageous and had more inherited advantage than she lets on. That's my take.
That's really interesting. Dr. Adams, speaking of somebody that was born on third base.
I was waiting for that to come up.
Dr. Adams taught me a term yesterday, very important one. Water closet. I didn't know about a water closet until yesterday. Didn't know we had that name.
A bathroom?
Nope, a water closet. Dr. Adams can explain.
I thought it was a shitter. It's a shitter that's separate from the bathroom.
There you go.
No, it's a room that has a toilet and sometimes a sink.
Right, just a little anteroom adjacent to the rest of the bathroom.
Right, and the point came up as we were talking about architecture, because Dr. Adams apparently is an expert in architecture. We found that out yesterday too. And so I was complaining about the modern design of bathrooms, of how we keep our toothbrush in the same place where we take a shit. I just don't think that that's a good idea.
I keep it far away.
Well, if it's in the same room, it's a problem. So what I said was that I want to design a home that has a shitter in a separate room from the bathing room, which would also have a sink. Why are you interrupting? I just want to keep cleaning myself separate from shitting. And Dr. Adams said that what I'm looking for is a water closet.
Yeah, but does the water closet have a place to wash your hands? Some do.
You can have it.
Headphones, so why are you having trouble hearing me?
No, you're good, bro.
What up?
I am back. Unfortunately, my phone died.
He's back.
Harry,
You missed Harry.
we're all on controlled substances.
Music. Nothing but real hard trap, ditty, party kind of music, yeah.
Verse to heart, like if you pray, like if you bless Jacob, bless Israel, God will bless.
And high gloss paint.
Absolutely, 100%.
Where's the water then to like wash yourself? Like
I mean, usually it's an optional feature. So you have like a regular shower, and then you have a steamer as well.
I like.
Was made with.
Was Adam given? Did Adam have original sin?
No, original righteousness. He eventually picked up that original sin after sinning.
Right, and so
But
was
he
that
wasn't made a sinner.
right? Was that when he had the nature of original righteousness, as you're calling it? Okay. Whenever he sinned, was that determined by God?
I mean, yes, it's predetermined by God, but it was not a forcing, right? It's just I'm permitting you to determine.
Not black and you're racist. First of all, no, I'm not black.
And do I care about your feelings? You're black. We live in Trump's America now, so you can go back where you come from, and if you don't like it, you can leave.
Excuse me?
Uh-huh. Can I help you?
Ryan, what is the problem?
It's because you're black.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Show me
Black.
black.
Prove me wrong.
What do you care if someone is black or not? That's racist.
Hey, man.
Is pushing the wave, right? And it's just basically the moon, like, dragging the wave across, then I would have a lesser standpoint. I would have a lower ground to prove. And look, there's two burdens of proof. There's beyond reasonable doubt and balance of probabilities. In this case, it's always going to be balance of probabilities, which is probably more likely than the other, right? That's all we think.
You're just repeating what I just said 3 minutes ago. That's what the debate is about. Is which person can offer a persuasive argument
of who's likely or who's more likely to be right than the other person.
It's Blobby.
Oh, that's like his person that.
Yeah. There's a comedian who does the auto tune, parts of the crowd work in auto tune. He's kind of cute. I like him.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Jeff.
Blobby got
I have a
arrested.
brother named Jeff that I never met in person. So
So I think the argument you're trying to make is that you like the idea of having your toothbrush in the same room where you take a shit.
I proposed several options, but I will have my house reconstructed to add a water closet. And considering how my bathroom is set up, I will rerun all the plumbing to make that happen.
How about a bidet? Am I the only one that thinks bidets are pretty awesome?
I love the tickle.
Awesome and ecological.
Wait, you still don't use any paper after the bidet?
Tiny bit. 1% of what you would normally use.
1%.
5%, well, a lot less.
This guy's crazy.
Hey, what do you guys think of buying like triple ply toilet paper and then splitting it down to single ply just so you can save money?
Not even joking right now. I actually prefer the single ply Angel Soft. I'll use more wraps around my hand, but I feel like it always.
Exactly. You use twice as much. That's great. RFK Jr.'s outlaw that.
Relax, David, because I've always had Charmin in the house, and I used when I lived by myself, I switched to Angel Soft. Like I just grabbed it one time because it was there.
Don't you think it's time we start thinking about reusable wipes?
Get the fuck out of here. Get
like a cloth that you have to wash afterwards.
I mean, we do that with diapers. Why not?
We don't do this with diapers. What are you talking about?
You don't know about cloth diapers? Yes.
I do know about cloth diapers, but I don't know anybody who uses them.
Wow.
People act like the single ply is a serious issue. It's not. And if you use go get Charmin, use it side by side. Go get Charmin and get single ply Angel Softs.
Well,
if you can't figure out how to
listen, with the name like Taco, you definitely need at least double ply.
No, but seriously, come on. If you can't figure out how to use single ply,
hold on.
You got bigger problems.
Hold on. I want to get a woman's opinion on this. I don't know if Callie or Christy or America or Shara want to jump into this in the chat, but I'd like to understand what they think when it comes to topics like putting the toothbrush in the same room as the toilet, or whether or not you should skimp on your toilet paper.
Well, no, they need Charmin for the front, for the pat, and they need to figure out Angel Soft on the back is running well.
So you know, like all this talk about reusable diapers and single ply toilet paper, it just brings so much Soviet nostalgia. This is like the environment I grew up in. In fact, we did not have at times toilet paper, and would have to use newspapers, which was a way to
Dr. Adams.
A middle
Dr.
finger
Adams pointed out that Kroger's toilet paper ain't bad. I have to tell you, I think the Kroger's brand, all of their generic stuff is pretty good, and I would love to understand what name brand is just allowing them to white label, because I don't think Kroger's is doing this themselves. I think it's like a name brand that they're just white labeling. Does anybody know any of this? Like where Kroger like who actually makes Kroger toilet paper? Because it holds up well. So, Christy, you're not a fan of reusable. Don't we want to conserve here? I thought global warming and stuff we're supposed to save. What about the way they used to do it? Like, how about people that like would just like wipe their butt with their finger and then just wash your hand?
I had a roommate that did that. Clearwater Paper Company makes Kroger. Sounds like a big commercial operation.
What do you guys think of the idea of when you use a public restroom? Like, has anybody ever sat on a toilet without a gasket or without hovering above it? Has anybody ever sat just flush on a public toilet seat?
If I was going to straight into the shower at the gym, but usually not, no. Like never not.
I'm sure it happened in an emergency or something, but like once in my life then, because I hovered. Now I'm not as strong, and I prefer sitting, so I put the piece of paper, the fancy thing that doesn't really cover the toilet, and then you have to put more pieces on to cover it, because I refuse to touch anything in a public toilet stall and whatnot. So yeah, that's and.
Well, I will say that where they're not seat covers, I rather hover in a bush. I keep an extra roll of toilet paper in the trunk of my car for that reason. Because as you know, Roger, I don't know the last time you've been to LA, but finding public restrooms are very scarce. And our traffic is pretty gnarly.
Shits in the street.
So yeah, you always got to have an extra roll of toilet paper in your trunk. But as far as the seat covers are concerned, I mean, I don't know how many men on this stage are as endowed as I am, but I actually have to put on the seat cover the front way, and then I also have to turn it around and make sure that I put it on the back way. I definitely don't want to make sure that water is not splashing up on my nuts, because you never know what type of STDs and disgusting vile bacteria are in the public restrooms in Los Angeles.
So you're doubling up on the gaskets to protect your vagina.
Sure, Roger. Likely story. I don't want anything to fall into the, I don't want anything to fall into the bowl.
Granddaddy issues.
What a balloon.
You've doxed me now, Jeff.
You doxed yourself with that photo,
I know. I mean, that's just his face.
Yeah, that's who I am. I'm not hiding it. I always tell the truth.
I'll be 76 on Thursday.
I want the truth! Happy early birthday. What are you doing?
I think that when you allow the interests to become so polarized, it allows them to play games with the American people. and get them all riled up about shit that doesn't necessarily matter so that they can achieve whatever other objectives they have behind the scenes. And it makes it easier for, you know, the other interests behind the scenes to gain control because they only have to manipulate two parties as opposed to, you know, a broader group of more different political interests.
So I agree with you. The question I'll ask you is this. Given the party that we have right now, do you think that's actually true? Do you think we're actually in a two-party system? Because what I would say is we have a two-party system for a period of time until that becomes untenable, and then we get this coalescence. It's almost like a lava lamp of politics, where smaller blobs form into a much larger one, but then that itself ends up breaking apart. And I think we're in that big blob stage right now where you've got MAGA elements, but you've also got the Maha side and a lot of, Democrats who are voting Republican for the first time, and it's all under the Republican banner. But is it truly Republican in the truest sense of the word, or is it just kind of a massive party of people that are part of a coalition who are voting together at this point in time, but as they get towards the bottom and the lamp starts to heat them up, are going to fragment and split out, and for a period of time you'll have tripolar politics that will again coalesce into a North and a South pole like we've had with Democrats and Republicans for a long time now. I think that's what we're seeing. That's my take and my opinion, but it's kind of how I see.
But right, because there's been agents, provocateurs that have been strategically placed in this movement in order to make it appear culty. And we've seen this done all throughout history. It's a psyop, right? And as you can tell, yes, I must have made a valid point. Hopefully he's going to do some research. Everybody, I encourage you to please repost this space. I can tell that we're going to have a wonderful conversation, and share it out to your friends, your back channel groups. Make sure you quote it out, and then you can repost it. It'll trigger the algorithm, trick it a little bit. Thank you so much.
Well, I'm gonna be here for a bit more. I'm gonna post it on my page.
Don't try to leave.
Oh no! I mean, shit. I'm probably gonna dope. But look, you know me. I go to sleep around this time. But look, check this out. What I will say, Judge. I'm very optimistic about. I'm excited. I'm not gonna lie. Not just for the schools, but when he abolishes the IRS.
It's good to be everybody's least unfavorite.
I wasn't quite that way, but yes.
Yeah, I was just joking about the just ranked choice voting systems. Anyway.
I'm that level of tired. I'll buy just about anything right now. Keep selling.
I'm fucking tired too. I'm just like chilling, playing video games.
I'm trying to come up with a new way to roast echo chambers. Difficult. It's very difficult.
So you want to roast echo chambers?
Yes, sir. More like the pressure cooking is what's happening there, because that's what's going to happen.
I mean, so, like, I have been defaulting a lot to the change my mind meme lately, but I would maybe say that echo chambers like Blue Sky are just a pressure cooker for bullshit. Changed my mind.
I think the classic play of take the natural conclusion to its absolute extreme is a tried and true methodology for blowing up an echo chamber. Somebody says something ridiculous, agree with it, and make it even more ridiculous, and just keep going. Until it is so untenable and obviously stupid that it is irrefutable that the entire premise is wrong.
I'm thinking of like different ways. It's difficult. Like it's really difficult to come up with like a thought that's really. I'm thinking of like echo chamber cope, defining that as a term, like.
This is just my gut reaction at 1:30 in the morning, local time for me. But echo chamber and gut feel is giving me Ghostbusters vibes. I would go with ectoplasm.
What fucking Christ.
You love it. I know it.
Yeah, it's funny as fuck. I got a bunch of paperwork try. But yeah, facts don't care about your theories is fucking great. Like that is great.
I like that.
Like at some point, like I want to post that, but I don't know if that undermines the capacity for theories to exist. You know what I mean? Like, I just did it.
So something like that, you're not going to change anybody's mind because it's too confrontational. Exactly. You got to make whoever it is that you want to really self-detonate and have a real episode of cognitive dissonance believe that you're on their same team and then lead them into a logic trap that they can't escape.
You know, it's funny, and it's funny how easy that sounds, but how difficult that really is, because you have to somewhat disguise your, you know what I mean, like your principles.
Yeah, it requires really, really high emotional intelligence. You have to put yourself in
you have to be
somebody who is straight up irrational and basically put yourself in the loony bin and emulate that same set of behaviors. So yeah, it's extremely difficult. I agree. I really love the post in the purple pill right now with the old school X-Men stuff. I'm the Juggernaut, bitch.
Oh my fucking Christ.
We need more of that.
I'm the Juggernaut, bitch. Yeah. The movie sucked on so many levels, but was also so good at the same time. The whole fucking thing doesn't make any sense, because right after that X-Men movie, you had like X-Men Days of Future Past. So somehow, Magneto, it's like, it kind of does make sense if you consider the final scene, because everybody walked away from that movie thinking, oh shit, Magneto's depowered now because he got the injection. And then, at the end scene was him moving a small metal chess piece. Then, in Days of Future Past, he's like full God mode again. Like, interesting. Although nothing will ever come close to the comics version of Magneto, because at some point he discovers that he actually doesn't control metal, just in a magnetic sense like that. He actually controls the whole electromagnetic spectrum. That's when he goes full off the fucking hinge. It's insane. Oh, and there's a new edition where they basically have a huge resurrection island. They keep killing themselves because of missions and keep getting brought back. It's great. On a living island, by the way.
So which force does he control exactly?
What happened?
Which force does he control?
The electromagnetic force, whatever that is.
So he's got the full range of, I guess, is that the strong force? Or is that the...
He's got the full range. He basically has the ability to control whatever that force is. Bro could, like, basically control anything that's matter. That's crazy. Almost anything. You can't strike that bitch with lightning. That's one thing.
So I think EM, I immediately think photon force carrier. But that's not really matter because that's all photons.
Exactly. What if you could control electrons? Like all electrons. Holy shit. That's insane. If you could control electrons, you could like point at a particular thing and you could just like create a chemical imbalance that just falls apart. Hey, I'm gonna take the water out of whatever the toilet paper is and then leave the carbon behind. Fuck.
If you did that, everything that you manipulated would immediately become radioactive. It'd go out of balance, and then they'd start emitting neutrons and protons.
Damn, that's fucked up.
You just like look at somebody and it's like, yep, you've got thallium poisoning. Have fun. Bye.
That's fucked up, yeah. His theme song would need to be like the... what is that band called again? I think it might have been Imagine Dragons. Or the radioactive thing. Welcome to the new age, to the new age, welcome to the new age, oh. It was like something else, the radioactive in there somewhere. Yeah. Radioactive, radioactive, whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, something like that. It's crazy. You know, it's funny how I have like a super rugged voice, but I can like kind of sound super smooth as well. Just wild.
Where's the pal?
I'm gonna write it. Hang on. So I'm working on the father sneeze. You know the super loud one? You're asleep. They're like fucking 12 a.m. Your father goes to the kitchen. opens up some random shit in the fridge, and sneezes so loud that the prehistoric animals are put to shame. Like,
I've been doing it for years, man. I got that mastered.
I believe you. Scream sneezing. Like that.
I used to do that just for fun.
I would do that shit so loud, it would like echo back and give me an understanding of how big the room was. Like fucking, I can sneeze so loud that I can do echolocation.
You just gotta get a little bit older, man. I wake my kids up by farting. The amount of reverb bouncing off the walls wakes them up.
Yeah. That's not me, but I can think of someone who would do that. Wow. Did you say that the reverb bounces off the walls?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's like a minor earthquake.
Dude, that self roast is brilliant. I love it. What else can you tell me about that?
No, there's no more to that story.
Hold up.
Man, this is not even recording. What the hell?
Wait, what do you mean recording?
So Space is not recording. You should have clipped that.
Yeah, we have no base.
Yeah, some of us are recording.
Everything is recorded.
Be internet famous for farting my kids awake in the middle of the night.
That sounds so Oh. That's something. I'm disappointed in like the fact that people who said you should be in an echo chamber fucking drop that and go straight. We need an echo chamber. What is that? I thought the whole purpose was like discussion and like acceptance. What the fuck? Like, why is it just like abandoned? You just dropped your principles like a hot potato. It's there now. You let everybody else step on it. You're stepping on it yourself. It's just becoming part of the ground.
There's a false assumption in there, and the assumption is that they had principles to begin with. I don't know that that's really true. Maybe it is, maybe it's not, but at the very least, these people need some time and space to mentally heal from being lied to and believing their own bullshit and lies as well.
That's actually a really good one. That's a great take. I like that. I prefer that over the vengeance.
I look at it this way. I was none too thrilled whatsoever when Biden took office. Like, when he got elected, I was not happy about it. And I didn't self-select and exit, the social media feeds and, frankly, the full-blown media feeds that I was consuming. But I maybe consumed a little bit less, and I wasn't thrilled about all the crap that I was seeing out there, particularly the people that were joyful about it, because for me it was representative of a lot of things that I didn't care for. And I'm able to look in the rearview mirror and say, you know what, they're probably feeling the exact same way that I was back then. And candidly, I think that's a progressive cycle that we're in, and it's a little toxic for everybody involved, that we're tying so much emotion and identity to who the hell gets elected in office every 4 years. It's a really vicious cycle, and it's not good for anybody at all on either side, even if you're the side that wins.
I think a big part of the problem is that media and our political system both succeed the most when they can get people upset and afraid. Incentive, both from like a gaining viewers perspective and a gaining voters perspective, to just filling people's heads rational bullshit so that they're emotionally just like frazzled and like feel the need for whichever solution promised is going to fix their problems.
Couldn't agree more.
And I think part of the problem with like people recovering from having been lied to is that like they're still being lied to and they don't really realize that they're being lied to. And until they accept that, and I mean, I think that all people need to do a certain degree of that. But until they accept it, like it's not going to be, there's not really going to be healing. There's just going to be more pain. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. I think a good chunk of that acceptance too is being able to look hard in the mirror and admit that you had made a error in judgment. And that's the harder part. It's not accepting that somebody lied to you. If it's somebody else lied to you, you can put the fault on them and, you know, therein lay the blame, and that's external. But the reality is that everybody has taken so much of this and made it parts of their personality that to accept you were lied to in 2024 means that you have to look at yourself as an idiot because you believed everything that you were told. And that's a much harder proposition. And it shouldn't be that way, but I think that's how a lot of folks are processing this.
I think there's going to be a lot more like getting it out before we see much acceptance. I can't wait to see what stupid hats they come up with this time around.
Let's speculate on that. That should be fun. We had pussy hats. We had the Handmaid's Tale hats for a little bit.
Oh yeah, the nun costumes.
Yeah. What can we get this go around?
Ooh, I don't know. Let's see. What is the rhetoric? What have been the like big insult hurled, or like what's something that people might latch on to?
There's been a whole lot of like Nazi stuff that's not too pleasant at all, but I can't think of any.
I doubt that they will assimilate that, but I will tell you something though. What if we take the accusation and we turn it around? So you look at the echo chamber thing. What if we took that and turned it around? Then it would be those individuals seeking the echo chamber, right? So if you turn it around logically, what else can we turn around? Alright, so think about this. Let's say they've ridiculed the conspiracy theory of radio waves, okay? Now, what if they were actually to believe that? And we already have an instance of this. Voting machine bullshit. Remember the video? Like, remember the thing we were talking about? I still have to, like, adjust that. We'll post it a little bit. Where they were thinking that somehow the internet connectivity of Starlink impacts the way people voted by them fucking with the machine somehow, in a way of somehow IPv6ing the packets, which is such fucking bullshit. So, what if that, and what if we unified that with some other concepts? Also, by the way, they're stockpiling on fluoride now. Did you know that? People are like, before we had toilet paper, now we have fluoride. I hope they get the calcium version, because if they get the sodium version, they're just basically buying the chemical waste now. Please, okay, if anyone's out there, I don't want to insult you, but please, if you want to put fluoride in your water, that's fine. Well, I'm not entirely sure if it's totally fine, of course, but if you're going to look for a particular type of fluoride, perhaps consider calcium fluoride instead of sodium fluoride, because calcium fluoride is actually natural, sodium fluoride is not. So, like, all the studies that basically made fluoride to be something that's actually good, those studies are based on calcium fluoride, not sodium fluoride, which is in your water. You actually, if you were to go with the studies and would trust in them, which is fine, then calcium fluoride is actually a thing you want to use, not sodium fluoride. Just a little FYI. For anybody who's doing that. I'm not trashing your ability to do that. I'm just saying that if you're going to do that, I guess perhaps you may want to look into calcium chloride over sodium fluoride. Fuck. Stop fucking fluoride. That's hilarious. I'm just saying it's true. It's true. We're like, oh my god, they're gonna take the fluoride out of the water. We're gonna stockpile fluoride now. It's actually true.
I really, really loved when that whole thing came out.
I'm not ridiculing it. You can do whatever the
It
fuck
made
you
me
want.
go.
You know, look into it a little.
It took me all the way back to Doctor Strangelove. You've all seen Doctor Strangelove,
Yes,
right?
we have.
Yeah, I just fluoridation. You know, gotta protect your precious bodily fluids.
Oh my fucking god.
What better reason to take over a military base? This could be great.
God. Did you remember? Oh man, there's so much bullshit. There's like an endless amount of bullshit. It's great. I love it so much. Also, please, for the love of fucking God, please stop DMing me with your raunchy ass fucking bullshit. I am a person who is in a relationship. I do not want any of that fucking action. And it's kind of disgusting to me. Actually, that's kind of disgusting. It is disgusting to me. It's not flirtatious, it's just raunchy. It's funny as shit. Go fucking seek a real person in your life. I know I sound super intelligent. I know that that's a thing that gets people going these days. Which probably is that you shouldn't be bullying a lot of the nerdy fucking soulless freaks. Like, that's a fucking stupid thing. The reason why society sucks so much today is because you bullied the most capable parts of it into hating you. It's like nobody wants to be with anyone else now because of that. That's the problem. This is why a lot of people say, oh, we should bring bullying back. It's like, you do realize that the bullying thing preceded what we have today? It's like you pissed off a bunch of capable people into either doing nothing at all, doing something incredible, which is very rare, or becoming extremely sociopathic individuals who say, the world has hurt me, now I will make it burn. That exists, and it's a lot more common than you think. That's why a lot of people say, whenever somebody does something fucked up with their capabilities, they say, who hurt you? Sure, they say it sarcastically, but it's a very good question if you were to take it seriously. Who hurt you? You know? But like, realistically, stop DMing me with this raunchy ass bullshit. I don't want to have fucking any of it. It's disgusting.
I get zero raunchy shit. Does that mean I'm dumb?
No, that means you're not big enough yet. But it will happen at some point. Like, for real. Also, why is it that people on TikTok are now just drinking glassfuls of seed oils? Like,
Really? What the fuck?
yeah, like, this stuff doesn't hurt you. Watch, gluk, 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 gluk. I'm like, what the fuck?
My God.
Enjoy the next 4 days of shits.
I know, right? If there are no more TikToks that are coming out, we know that that's the outcome.
So, who's the best publicly traded toilet paper company? I want to buy a whole shitload of calls.
Oh my God.
I mean, Costco seems like the go-to. Not exactly a toilet paper company, but that's where they're going to go to stock up.
Wild.
I'm absolutely killing it on my Tesla calls, by the way.
Nice.
Less than 5 business days, and I'm up like 50 some odd %.
Oh, wow.
I bought a $700 strike price with a, I think it was the June 25 expiry. They're just crushing it.
Yeah, I moved. Sorry. I moved some into Doge and Bitcoin around the time Adrian was recommending, and that worked out pretty fucking great.
Wait, sorry, say that again?
On Spaces a few nights ago, you mentioned, like, you thought Doge and Bitcoin were solid holds, and so I made some moves, and it was a good call.
Nice.
Sweet.
I told a bunch of people about it. One person acted on it by like 25% and fucked himself the rest of the way. He held a bunch of stable coins. I told him, get rid of the fucking stable coins. He bought some Doge.
I know, right?
Bought some Bitcoin. And just like on the pump, almost on the pump, rugged it all again and put it back into stable coins. And I told him, did you keep some of it? Yes. Where are you keeping it? Did you take it off the exchange? No. I'm like, internal. There's like a small part of my mind from all the crypto shit that I've ingested over time that viscerally hurts when I consider that. And there's so much bullshit that's in my head that I want to say, where it's like, no, I'm not going to say it because I'm not supposed to be super offended by this. This is fine. This is understandable. Not everybody knows this. It's fine. And it's their money, not yours. But like, holy fuck, man.
What I have learned supporting people is that it's best to take it incrementally, and like getting people to buy and hold on an exchange, probably not fucking stable coins, because that just sounds like a dumb way to keep your money like in a different place.
Keep your money as money.
You gotta take that first step, right? Like once they take the first step, then they'll run into a situation where like their bank is not letting them do what they want to do. And you have the opportunity to explain to them like, hey, you've got